What is up? One and only, Shounen the King here, and I'm here to do actually a special video. There was this fantastic thing spreading like a virus through the YouTube anime community called being anime tagged, and I was graciously tagged. I'm very excited about it. I thought it was a fantastic idea, and I have been tagged by the one and only Supreme Guru. That is a really cool dude. Shout out to him. I will be putting a link to his channel in the description below. Be sure to check out his videos and subscribe. Very cool dude. But let's get to the topic at hand, being anime tagged. So essentially what this format is being called is you get 10 questions. And you get the 10 questions, you answer them in your own opinion, and then you are to tag someone else, and then they are to do the same, and it just keeps going and going and going. It's like that Lamb Chop song. This is a song that doesn't end. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So the questions are actually pretty cool. There are some that I favor more than others, but let's jump into this, and you guys get to learn a little bit more about Shonen's anime career and history. All right, let's jump into it. All right, so the first question is, I got it right in front of me here, so if you see me trailing off, that's why. Favorite anime arc in a shonen anime? This question. To be honest with you, it's between two. I don't know if how many people out there have probably already said this, but again, everyone knows anybody over the age of 25, or maybe a little bit younger than that. Dragon Ball Z was the show. I mean, before Naruto, before Bleach, it was Dragon Ball Z. And I've watched Dragon Ball Z so many times. You guys have no idea. I've watched this series, God knows the numbers of times. So if I was going to choose a favorite arc of all time, it would probably have to come from Dragon Ball Z. If not Dragon Ball Z, it would probably be Yu Yu Hakusho's Dark Tournament. It's just something special. Now, I will say Yu Yu Hakusho's Dark Tournament would probably be a very, very, very close second, if not tied for first. But if I gotta pick one between the two, I'll probably go with the imperfect Cell Saga from Dragon Ball Z. Now, for those who don't know, there's the perfect Cell Saga, the Cell tournament, where he finally gets his final form, and then he sets up the tournament, and then the whole thing will Gohan turning Super Saiyan 2. But before that, there was the imperfect Cell Saga, which showed the first appearance of Cell and the story from his progression from being imperfect to becoming perfect. Now, that little saga section there is my personal favorite. And the reason why is I just thought the character development there was fantastic. The battles that we got were so fantastic because, again, let me explain something to you guys. Though I am a huge Goku Vegeta fan, one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball Z is Piccolo. And I felt like Piccolo finally got his chance to shine in this saga. We saw him finally fuse with Kami, basically becoming a super Namek and, unleashing fantastic powers. Then we saw him train and get stronger yet again. And again, if anyone knows me and they ask me what's my favorite Dragon Ball Z fight of all time, I simply tell them it is Piccolo versus Android 17. That fight, hands down, was one of the craziest fights I have ever seen. I mean, it was just two guys just digging into each other, whooping each other's ass, and I mean, it was fantastic. Just like Piccolo just eating 17's punches and just giving them right back, and then he has this famous iconic line where he tells 17, he's like, "Yeah, your punches don't hurt. Goku hits much harder than you." And 17 gets all frazzled and he's like, "No, that can't be possible. No one hits harder than me." I was just like, "Yo, Piccolo, the fucking G!" So that's my favorite saga. Of course, you get the ascended Vegeta versus Cell, and see him use his final flash for the first time. There were just so many great moments in that imperfect Cell saga. It was just too many to name. I didn't want to go for the typical, oh, it's the Frieza saga, or oh, it was the perfect Cell saga. No, I'm going with the imperfect Cell saga, from the moment where Cell shows up for the first time, and all the way up to the final moment where he becomes perfect and decides he's going to do the tournament. So that's the answer for number one. All right, number two, an anime that you really hate. This question was actually pretty hard for me. I don't hate any anime. I strongly dislike a lot of animes, but I don't absolutely hate an anime. So this one is actually kind of difficult for me. Recently, I kind of went on a spree of Ichi anime I've been going through. I'm kind of an action anime oriented person. I don't watch any couple animes. I forget what you guys call it, but there's a name for it where the anime strictly focuses on relationships. I don't watch that shit. I don't watch it. I don't read it. I have zero interest in it. The only anime I watch is action anime, combat anime, Air Gear, Grappler Baki, Dragon Ball Z, shit like that. Do not watch. Unless someone's getting punched consistently, I'm not watching it. So it's kind of hard for me to... there's another question that I have to answer, and it's kind of hard to do that because of the kind of anime I watch, but we'll get there. So if I had to decide on an anime that I really hated / disliked, would probably have to be Queen's Blade. Queen's Blade was an anime that was recommended to me by one of my friends. I started watching it. It was available on Netflix, and I'm like, I kind of have a thing where I work hard during the week, so on the weekends, I like to try to get through anime series on like a Saturday or Friday. I can sit there, grab me something to eat. I can sit there and watch a whole series, a 13-episode series like that in the day. I can get right through it. I watched the first couple of episodes of Queen's Blade, and it had everything that a Ichi fan would like. The unnecessary ass and tit shots, and half naked women running around. And again, like I said, it was cool. I was like, all right, I like this. It's cool. But again, just having an anime with Ichi moments alone is not enough. You need a show with some sort of substance. It needs to have a decent story, and the action has to be there. And I really felt like Queen's Blade did not offer that to me at all. I mean, they had moments where they had like the main chick was like mud fighting with another chick that used snakes, and then they had this ass backwards tournament that would just randomly start up and end. Like the fights in the show lasted like 5 to 10 seconds sometimes. Like the little fairy chick would come down and be like, Queen's Blade start, and then like 10 seconds later the match is over, or the match was meaningless. It just really frustrated me. It actually took me weeks to get through that series. Again, like I said, I didn't watch the season 2 because I know there's a season 2 out there. I didn't even bother watching it because, again, I was just like, I kind of have a tendency that when I start something, I like to finish it. So I did finish the first season. I was not impressed, and I have no plans on watching the second. But yeah, so if I had to say one, it would probably be Queen's Blade. Move on to number 3. Favorite anime opening ending. All right. Woo! This is my favorite question. I love anime openings and endings. Love them. This question I actually thought about ahead of time. I didn't kind of think about this on the fly. So I wanted to kind of make sure that I had everything set up for you guys. I was going to actually play the actual songs in the background, but then I realized there will probably be some copyright issues there. So I'm going to probably have to ad-lib and give you guys a little taste of my singing abilities. I don't know. I'm going to play it by ear. But I'm going to start with anime openings. My favorite anime opening of all time, hands down, is Bleach opening 3. Let's make sure I don't butcher the name of it. It is called Inochari no Hana, and it is a fantastic song. I remember the first time I heard it. I was watching Bleach at this point in time. I had already had the entire, first couple of seasons of Bleach on DVD. I went online and found them, and I think I had all the way from the start of Bleach up until the Arankars first, showed up and sold in the town. So I watched the entire thing, and when we got the Bleach opening 3, it just like blew my mind. It had the hard guitar riff. It had the singers in the background, and then just how they managed to paste together like all the little images from the actual show, and it just was it. If you guys have not seen this opening, please check it out. It's Ina Ichi no Hara, and it's Bleach's third opening. It is fantastic. And there's actually a second, because again, I couldn't pick. That's definitely my number one. But if I had to pick a close second as a consolation prize as far as openings are concerned, it would actually be. I think this is from Naruto Shippuden, and I can't remember which opening it was, but it was Bluebird. And I think again, I know you guys know Bluebird. It starts Hatara Isara. I sound a little retarded schoolgirl, but you get what I'm saying. I know Sara. Yeah, that shit is my shit. And as you got Naruto falling from the sky and spinning, and that shit starts playing. And again, like, that's how you can tell when you have a classic opening moment, when it just grabs you immediately and it just reels you in. And that's exactly how it was. Again, I'm watching Naruto again. I always watch the openings when they change, and I saw that one and I was like, wow, this is pleasure for my ear holes. And it was just fantastic. It really was. So Naruto Bluebird is my alternate favorite opening, and the best opening of all time is Bleach third opening. As I said before, as far as endings are concerned, as favorite endings are concerned, I want to probably take this back. There are two. The first one is my number one opening of all time. Probably has to go to Inuyasha's. I think it was the first opening. It's the one that's like do 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 do. Shit, I can't remember. Ikutsa Nani Natu Na. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, it's the first opening from Inuyasha. It's Kagomi's riding the bike, and they got the whole thing, and it's got the little soft riffs playing in the back. It was just, again, fantastic. Love that ending. And a close alternate second would be the ending anime, the ending tone for Outlaw Star. That was another one that when I heard it for the first time, I was just like, wow. And again, keep in mind, these songs were so good, I had to find them online and download them for my MP3 player. So on my MP3 player, if I hit it on like some sort of random playlist, those songs will be all mixed up in there because, again, I love them so much. All right, let's move on. Question number 4. What mainstream anime power do you want? Mainstream anime power. I would probably have to go with something Dragon Ball Z related, which is a little weird because, again, they don't technically have power. So if I had to choose, and my choice would probably be, I would like to have Saiyan Blood. Again, Saiyan Blood would give me the ability to train and, use ki to fly and, have the ability to learn these techniques. But also, most importantly, being a Saiyan gives me the ability to possibly become a Super Saiyan, and the whole getting stronger after you lose, and the durability, just everything about it that encompasses being a Saiyan. And again, if I'm going to have some anime powers, I'm going to definitely pick somebody that's OP. And we all know if you're a Saiyan, if you have Saiyan blood, you really can't go wrong with that, hands down. So again, if I had to choose a mainstream power, it would be the ability to be a Saiyan and have Saiyan blood and be able to do all the shit that Saiyans do. Alright, so the next question is the most badass anime character you have seen. This is actually easy. This is easy, but it's not easy actually. Alright. I'm gonna give you guys my old school badass, and I'm gonna give my current badass. My old school badass is hands down Broly from Dragon Ball Z. As you all know, again, a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. Dragon Ball Z is what started it for me. It kind of started me on the whole watching anime series as a whole. And I remember the first time I saw Dragon Ball Z movie 8. I promise you, I've probably watched that movie 20 to 30 times, maybe even more. Like, I could probably tell you that movie inside and out, backwards and forwards. Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, sprang onto the scene, and this dude was the biggest badass. I'm telling, like, there was nobody cooler to me than Broly. Like, when all the Dragon Ball Z games came out, and they started finally letting you play as Broly, that was my go-to guy. Like, you ask anybody, again, like I said, right here in my little case, you guys can't see it off to the side, but you can see my other one back here. That one's filled with DVDs and Blu-rays, but this one is closest to me. It's filled with all my my video games, my anime, my manga. It's right here, and all my Dragon Ball Z games. I have every single Dragon Ball Z game that's ever been released, and Broly was my go-to guy. Like, I was wrecking people with Broly. He was just the badass. I mean, anytime that you have one guy that fought Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan Gohan, Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Namekian Piccolo, Super Saiyan Trunks, 5-on-1, and he murdered them. I mean, this Broly literally wrecked them with no help at all, no effort. I mean, I remember there's a scene where, like, they're all like punching and kicking at him, and he's literally just standing on a pillar with his arms folded, and it's just moving like this and dodging all their punches. And to this day, like, whenever I want to show somebody and get them into anime, that's what I show them. Like, all my cousins who, you know, those cool guys who play Madden and, you know, all they care about is their Jordans. They don't care about anime. Whenever they came over my house, I would purposely put that movie on and show them that, and that's the reaction. Everyone, like, you show somebody Dragon Ball Z movie 8, and I promise you they would convert. If not convert fully, they would at least respect anime and what it brings to the game. Now, that's my number one, and if I had to choose one now that's mostly current, I would have to go with Zaraki Kenpachi from Bleach. Zaraki Kenpachi from Bleach needs no introduction. We all know, again, Zaraki, and it's funny enough, if you think about it, Zaraki Kenpachi almost reminds you of Broly. I mean, it's a huge hulking dude. He doesn't give a fuck, and he literally is the biggest badass of all time. I'm like, just when he comes into the scene, you just have him have his little demonic laugh. He's like, and you know, yeah, I know I look a little cheesy, but it's okay. I don't care. So, you know, his aura always breaks open, and, you know, he's always making these badass entrances where he's, like, destroying the area. You know, he's, like, literally, Zaraki Kenpachi, like, right now, is probably the baddest character out there. I know a lot of people like to say Guts from Bleach. He is, I mean, I said Guts from Bleach. Guts from Berserk, you know, he is a badass, but to me, no, nothing holds a candle to Zaraki Kenpachi. So, I mean, that's just what it is. So, Zaraki Kenpachi and Broly for the win. Alright, next question, number 6. Now, this is my least favorite question. Favorite mainstream anime couple? Again, I don't watch any kind of, like, relationship anime. I strictly keep it action. So, this question is very difficult for me to answer. I could go with the standard Chi-Chi, Goku, Bulma, Vegeta. But what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to, and I can't remember their names right now, but you guys will know once I name the show. It is the main character from High School of the Dead, the guy that's been, I guess he's the leader of the little group of survivors. And then there's the girl that's also not the girl that carries the sniper rifle with the really huge boobs. Now, granted, they all have really huge boobs in High School of the Dead. This is a chick that's like also she walks around with the practice katana sword, and I had a really huge thing for her watching that series. That chick was so freaking hot. So yeah, they kind of like later on in the series they end up stranded together and they're trying to make it back to the girl's mansion, and they end up delving into their relationship, and they end up kissing, and they have to stay like overnight in this little mausoleum little area where she gets a real sword, and they talk and they kiss, and they're all coupleized, or I guess it's coupleized you can get in a zombie apocalypse. So if I had to choose a mainstream couple, they would probably be them. Again, sorry I can't remember their names, but I'm pretty sure if you guys ever watched High School of the Dead, if you haven't, definitely check it out. Alright, let's go on to number 7. Biggest anime troll character in my opinion. Oh, that's easy. That is Uchiha Madara. Hands down. That dude is the biggest freaking troll of all time. And I'll tell you why. The fact that Uchiha Madara already has the Sharingan, already has Mangekyo Sharingan, and he already has Eternal and Mangekyo Sharingan. Now he has the Rinnegan, and he has Senju DNA. So essentially, he's Uchiha Madara, and he's Hashirama Senju from the Hidden Leaf Village, all mixed into one. He can use all of Hashirama's techniques, plus his own techniques, plus all the techniques of the Pain of the Six Paths. You can't get any more troll than that. I mean, good lord. I mean, he's at the same time, he's burning people with the Katone Jutsu, and also smashing motherfuckers with trees. I'm like, come on. Alright, so let's move on to try to get this wrapped up. I don't want this to run too much longer. An anime that you would like to see become live action. This is another tough one for me because, again, live action anime movies rarely work, and I actually don't. And especially after the debacle that was Dragon Ball Evolution, I really don't want to see any other animes get turned into a live action. But if I had to pick one, I would probably go with something that was already grounded in more like reality, and where you wouldn't have to use that much CGI. It would probably be Grappler Baki, where you could probably use like a Tony Jaa to play that character or something to that effect. Or I would probably go with I'd probably just go with Grappler Baki. Let's go on to the next one. Number 9. First anime merchandise you've ever purchased. Wow. I'm going to have to say the first VHS that I ever purchased was probably Vampire Hunter D, the original, or it was Guyver Out of Control, the movie. I remember I first saw it in a Blockbuster. Yeah, some of you guys don't even remember what Blockbuster is because it's all shut down. But yeah, I bought it from a Blockbuster on VHS, Guyver Out of Control. One of the best anime movies I've seen. Because again, I started off on watching animated movies, so to me, that's where my bread and butter started. I didn't watch series. The very first anime series I watched was Dragon Ball Z. But before Dragon Ball Z, all I watched was animated movies. So like Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll, Guyver Out of Control, that was the shit that I used to watch. So that would probably be my first anime purchases. And number 10, an anime that I think should get a movie. Well, that question has actually already been answered. Dragon Ball Z is getting a new movie in 2013, so I'm excited about that. If I had to pick one that has not gotten, that I would like to see in another movie, would probably be something from Yu Yu Hakusho, or something from like Vampire Hunter D, or another Ninja Scroll movie that was based off of the original Ninja Scroll. I would love to get something from that. Yeah. But those are my 10 questions. We have now been anime tagged. Thank you guys so much for spending the time watching this video. I will be tagging someone else. I have to take a moment to think about who I am going to tag, because again, most of the people that I deal with that actually make videos have already been tagged. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to figure out who I want to tag. So I will get back to you guys on that. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Showing up the king. And again, if some of my fans want to actually put their answers in the box below the comment section, feel free. I'd love to know what you guys think as well. This is Showing Up the King, the one and only, and you guys have a fantastic day.